Give us your 30-second bio.
Good afternoon. My name is Pamela.
Oh, wait one.
Okay, go.
There you go.
Good afternoon. My name is Pamela Goynes-Brown, and I'm running for North Las Vegas City Council Ward 2. I am a longtime member of the Ward 2 community. Been there practically all of my life. I feel it is my calling or my duty to represent the constituents in my ward. I have a long family legacy in politics. I'm an educator for the past 28 years.
You can add more. We're on a time schedule, but this will be on YouTube, and you can add more to it. It will be on YouTube and on Facebook. You can go ahead and add more to it later. And we are getting some feedback. Wait for it. There you go. Oh.
We are recording though. It's good for recording.
Good afternoon. My name is William Robinson II. I'm running for North Las Vegas City Council. I am the son of the current Mayor Pro Tem, William Robinson, and I am a lifelong resident, 32 years of Ward 2, North Las Vegas. And currently I serve on the North Las Vegas Parks and Recreations Board. I am also past president of the Citizens Advisory Committee.
Just leave it like that. My name is Carl Gatson. I too am a product of the Clark County region. Born and raised, I went to school in Las Vegas, public school, went to school, University of Nevada, Reno. So I'm familiar with the state, I'm a product of this state. American exceptionalism, there's no greater time to put it on display than the time that we are in right now, even though there's times of great uncertainty and different things going on, there's no greater time to put American exceptionalism on display, and with my campaign, you're going to see that.
Good afternoon, my name is Tanya Flanagan. I have an undergraduate degree in journalism and political science and a master's in business administration. Undergraduate from the University of Arizona, master's from UNLV. I've served in the community for a number of years. I've lived here for 15 years, in North Las Vegas for 11. Member of the Greater Las Vegas After School All-Stars Board of Directors. I serve on the Urban League's Affiliate Council as well as Western Region Vice President for the National Urban League Young Professionals. I have supported 3 Square as a member of the Advisory Council, Big Brother Big Sister Boys and Girls Club, and also I currently serve on North Las Vegas's Utility Advisory Council, and I've just been working in the community for a very long time, looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. My name is Anthony Snowden, candidate for North Las Vegas City Council Ward 2, a former Marine. And actually, I presently serve as a program director for United Family Community Services, which is a community-based organization restoring the values and trust of family and community. Because family and community is what's going to make a difference and get us out of these economic hard times. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to speak to the veterans in politics this afternoon, and I'm here for the duration of the evening.
We'll start off. Go ahead, give your name.
My name is Chris Miller. Question for...
Turn your mic on. You're the only one with the thumbs.
Oh, I'm the only one, thank you. Ms. Goynes, you mentioned in your bio that you are running because of your family's legacy. Why do you think that a family's legacy makes you qualified to do the job?
It builds recognition in communities and the city. It builds recognition in the community and the city, and I just plan to carry on those legacies to build communities, to continue that in especially Ward 2. And I am just able to problem solve and make tough decisions regarding communities, friends, and families, and building relationships.
Don Wilbright, Vice President of Veterans and Politics. This is a question for pretty much everyone on there. With the way the economy is right now, things are tough. Whoever gets elected is going to have to make some tough decisions. My question is twofold. One, what makes you the best candidate here, and can you give the panel some ideas of what it is that you would do to improve the situation in North Las Vegas and the council? Thank you.
Who's the question?
You can start over here with Mr. Snowden and work your way down.
Thank you. I think that the most pressing issue personally for me in terms of North Las Vegas has to do with foreclosures that's going on in the house right now. And the government has initiated a lot of funds in terms of neighborhood stabilization funds, and what those funds are meant to do is actually help those people who are having difficulties in mortgage they can't afford to actually transition into something a little bit more affordable. However, by the neighborhood stabilization program, the way it's currently configured, it doesn't allow those people to actually contribute to the tax base. This is going to be a major concern in terms of creating jobs, creating economic viability of the community. And I think that an amendment needs to be made to that whole overall program to make sure that people that are currently in houses are able to transition out of those high mortgages into those houses going to be at a lower interest rate and more affordable, and in turn turn those houses back over to the cities, the counties, or the private market, so they can in turn lease those houses out at a fair market rate, which is going to make it more viable for everyone in the community. Secondly, I think that we're remiss if we don't take care of the most vulnerable people in our community. That's going to be the youth and also the elderly. And for the last few years, we haven't had summer job programs here. And as you know now, with the new legislature with the school district, and they're trying to cut back, that there's going to be no more summer enrollment in schools. So those kids are going to have something to do. We need to try to make sure that we create jobs and opportunities for those students. And we need to do that by leveraging some of those funds that are out there in terms of parks and recreation, in terms of the school board, and some of those funds are used for typically training activities, and put those into some type of program as CETA-esque as possible. I'm from the old school, and CETA was a great program out here to allow them to get job experiences and job training, and also to allow them to access and see what they're good at, so that we can in turn build a future for our young people so they can move forward and actually advance the roles and mantle their leadership. And for our elderly people, man, we need to be doing much more in terms of services and making sure that we're out there participating in those community-based organizations that are able to provide food, summer assistance, and all those services that elderly are going to need to make sure their lives are sustainable. Because what kind of future would we have if we don't take care of those who are the most in this hard economic time?
Oh, and for the listening audience at home, please state your name prior to speaking, please, so they know who you are.
Can you hear me okay from here? Is it fine? Okay. My name is Tanya Flanagan, candidate for City Council Ward 2. What makes me the best candidate? I came to Las Vegas in 1995 to work for the Las Vegas Review-Journal newspaper. I worked for the paper for 5 years in the capacity as a reporter covering fire and police. I also covered community issues and did some coverage of municipal government, Henderson, Boulder City, and North Las Vegas. I went on from there to work for MGM Mirage before coming to work for the county. I currently work for the county. I think the combination of my background of having covered the community and looked at the issues from a neutral position as a reporter, looking at what was happening with our nonprofits, our government agencies, and then moving into the gaming sector, which is our main-based industry. Gives me a very good balance as a candidate for my background in terms of exposure and experiences and working with different factions. And working for the county when I came on board, did a lot of community-based work supporting the commissioner's offices. Looking at outreach programs dealing with seniors, youth. I work closely with the Las Vegas Police and the North Las Vegas Police to deal with crime and safety issues. I've co-chaired or chaired several boards and organizations and initiatives. One of those being the Southern Nevada Community Gang Task Force, working on the intervention subcommittee as the co-chair and also as co-chair of the Boulder Area Command Citizens Advisory Council. I think the balance of experiences that I have had over the years in my 15 years here make me a good candidate for this position. Understanding those working in government, dealing with programs, looking at the assessments and affairs, stabilizing different things that were happening in the community. I currently serve with the Urban League organization, and at one point the Urban League is now CAA, which initially was a traditional Urban League, taking over the programs that the Economic Opportunity Board was at one point responsible for. And I was in the room at the time when we talked about how to salvage those programs and make sure those resources were still available for the citizens in this community and residents across the valley. So I think the balance of experiences and exposures that I've had between working as a reporter covering the community, looking at it from a neutral angle, to working in gaming and understanding that base and the strategy there to working in the government sector, I think has given me a very good solid background, as well as my own volunteer community service that I have done with several organizations, as I mentioned, After School All-Stars to Boys and Girls Club, Big Brother, Big Sister. I think it brings a good balance, and looking at dollars and initiatives to look at programs and capital improvement makes me a solid candidate. If I am elected to that position, what I see as some of the solution is we look at our economic challenges is bringing new business to North Las Vegas and also working with the existing businesses. In the short term, we're focused on our small business development and and essentially our redevelopment. We have a lot of commercial space that's not developed right now. And if we can bring businesses in to occupy those spaces, it also translates to jobs for our residents. So those are some of the things I would look at. In the long-term capacity, I would like to see North Las Vegas have a business corridor. We're the one area of the valley that does not have a business corridor. So I'd like to see some of those corporate offices come in, meaning more jobs and the diversification in the income and the economic base that we're working from. So those are some of the things I look at. There's a lot of land that is not developed, and we can look at how to do some things with those advantages that we have. So to answer your question of why I think I'm the better candidate and what I would do, I hope that I have certainly answered that question. You're welcome.
My name is Carl Gatson, candidate for Ward 2 City Council. I opened up with American exceptionalism. Make no mistake about it. The American dream, what you're going to see put on full display with my campaign is I am a product of the American dream. I own a management consulting company, and I'm viewing and taking my campaign as if it's a small business enterprise, because make no mistake, that's what it is. You look at it, that's what you're going to see. I'm putting the American dream just on full display. One of the things years ago, 32 years ago, actually 30 years ago to be exact, I wasn't old enough to vote, but Ronald Reagan coined the phrase, government is not the solution to your problem, government is the problem. I stand here today, I sit here today on this panel declaring that that statement is more true, more real today than it was 30 years ago when Ronald Reagan said that. Make no mistake about it, self-government is going to be the key. Government's broke. Government has no money. So the solution is not going to be spending government money. I mentioned to you that my campaign is a small business enterprise. What you're going to see as you see my campaign travel throughout Northtown is I'm bringing small businesses with me. I'm talking about individuals who have giftings, who have talents, who can produce goods, who can perform services, and they don't know how to put it out there. But make no mistake about it, with my campaign, you could see a Bill Gates, you could see a Steve Jobs, you could see a Michael Dell created as a result of what I'm doing. I'm putting on display the full arsenal of giftings and talents that I have, and it is varied. I come from a broken home. I consider myself a boy from the hood, rising up and becoming a man who could. I spent most of my years right here in Clark County, 41 years. 6 years were actually spent back east in one of the worst ghettos this nation could ever know. I'm talking about the third world right here inside of America. I grew up in that, I'm a product of that, but you know what? I'm playing the hand that I've been dealt, and if it works for me, it can work for anybody, not just here in Northtown, but throughout this nation. We're talking about a great nation, and there's no greater time than now for us to rise up and use the talents and giftings that we have, collaborate with others. Another thing that Ronald Reagan had, and I'll make no mistake about it, I was not a fan of his when I grew up. I wasn't able to vote, and I was not a fan of his. I was taught to not like this man, but I become a lover of his policies and principles as I pursued education, become a businessman, and have accomplished some things in my life. He said that self-government is the key, and I've put these practices and principles at work in my own life, and with that, as a result of that, I am a college graduate. I have a small business, a good portion of my income. I'm a budget coordinator for the state of Nevada. I'm also a certified financial planner. I'm in the process of taking that national exam. I have an executive certificate in financial planning through UNLV, bachelor's degree, studying business and accounting with the University of Nevada, Reno, former IRS agent. Money is my game. Understanding how the numbers work is my game. I mentioned to you small businesses That's what I started with, that's what I'm going to end with. I'm taking these individuals, men and women, with me, and you're going to see them put on display. And make no mistake about it, I developed the in-kind contribution policy for a large organization with the University of Nevada, Reno. I personally have an unlimited budget as a result of my ability to use in-kind contributions with what I'm doing. So make no mistake about it, you go to my website, www.carlgatson.com, you will see my videos, you will see my social networking. You're talking about the American dream in full display, and there's no greater time to do that than right now.
Could I have you please repeat the question?
Sure. My question I believe it was twofold there. And the question is what was the question? I actually forgot myself.
Makes you a better candidate, and what would you do if you were elected? You're welcome.
All right. What makes me the better candidate? It's going to be simple as I plan on doing this job full time. This is something that needs to be taken a look at full time. So I plan on doing this full time. I believe I've learned from one of the best to ever do this. And I take a lot of his philosophies with me, but at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing and be my own man. With a position like this, we need someone who's going to be creative and think outside the box. I think everyone on this panel has a creative mind and has that ability to think outside the box, but I'm going to bring to the table something different because I'm a little younger than most of the people on this planet, or most of the people on this panel. So I have a different way of doing things and a different perspective. As far as the jobs, we've got a lot of undeveloped land, a lot of potential. Apex is an area that could be booming. We just need to get some people in there. We will be able to do that. Also, in Georgia, the legislature there passed a bill to allow them to do some things to create jobs for the movie industry. I think Nevada is a place where we could take advantage of the same type of policies to create jobs in the movie industry. I'm gonna be short and sweet, so.
I'm Pamela Goynes-Brown, candidate for Ward 2, North Las Vegas City Council. I think I'm qualified for this job because of the longevity with my ties to the community. I'm visible in my community daily. I talk with the constituents in my ward. I listen to what their needs are and what their concerns are. I also bring with me, as my 28 years in Clark County School District, I'm a problem solver as an administrator, and through the council I can be a resource for those people on a much broader scale. I have people coming to me every day asking me for advice, from foreclosures to services to food issues, and on the council that would help me to be that resource for that person to find those answers for those questions. And like my panel members have stated, about 57% of the land in North Las Vegas is undeveloped, more land than in Henderson and in the city. And we are a great city to attract businesses to come into the city of North Las Vegas. Also, a major issue for the city of North Las Vegas is public safety. People want to remain safe. We've had to do a lot of cutbacks, especially in our detention center, laying off officers and also curtailing the police and the firemen's budget. And I think that is something that should be a #1 top priority for the city of North Las Vegas, to make sure that the citizens, both young, middle-aged, old, are safe on a daily basis. Also, the foreclosure and the crime rates is another issue that I plan to work on, so that people, again, to be a resource so people know where to go to find affordable houses. And I also want to focus on youth programs and sustainable jobs for our youth that are coming up, because it is going to be very tough for employment for this summer for children who are going to be out of school from June until August. So we need to have summer programs and jobs for those children to keep them occupied.
Alrighty, if we could just have all the panel members take the microphones and introduce yourself while I fix that microphone right there. That's a little too high. So from my left, the panel's right. Go ahead and start off here, on the way down that way. If you have a position within Veterans of Politics, please let us know what it is.
My name is Chris Miller. I am the president of the Nevada Stonewall Democratic Caucus. I do not have a membership in Veterans of Politics, although I admire the organization very much.
Don Wolbright, Vice President of Veterans of Politics, former 3-term councilman.
I'm Laura Davidson. I'm the treasurer of Veterans in Politics, and I'm also a political consultant.
My name is Colonel Tom Sheck, United States Marine Corps, retired. I'm unemployed, and I'm here because I'm very interested in local politics.
Richard Hawkins, economics professor and attorney.
Lula Bello, a veteran of the 2003 initial invasion, and a sociologist.
Eight minutes left, so we're going to go ahead and go back to the clock. We're going to have a minute answers each. Go ahead and pass that down to who else is asking questions on this one? Okay. Okay. Well, Ghost is upstairs.
Okay. Currently, North Las Vegas has a budget deficit of $35 million, and the current city council is considering measures of consolidating city services with Las Vegas. If you were elected, would you consider consolidating these services, and what other ways would you try and reduce the deficit of North Las Vegas?
Can we start in the middle this time, since we start from the end before? Go for it. I'll take a stab at it first. Good question. Short answer is there's no money. Collaboration is something that I fully believe in. I think that wherever possible, program services that are being duplicated need to be consolidated. Ones that are ineffective needs to be abolished, gotten rid of, and that's just the real short answer. Outsourcing, I support small business. I support private enterprise driving this economy. Leave it at that.
About 20 seconds.
20 more seconds. Private enterprise is going to be the solution to the problems that we have right now. The government has no money.
In the middle. To your question about consolidating services, yes, both cities have met, and the county's also talking about that. I think it's a good idea in some cases to take a look at, can we consolidate services depending on what those services are? Can we reduce the cost, and of course still cover it adequately with the manpower that we have? So I do support the evaluation process to take a look at consolidating services to see if that's the smart thing to do. Other things that could be looked at include looking at some of the services that are currently provided to our residents that we may not be providing but that they still need. Things like HOAs who pay money to make sure their areas are maintained. Could be something we could take internally, because currently people are paying for those services, but they're being outsourced to private industry. It doesn't mean that we can't perhaps adequately staff the cities to do what is needed in those areas and to bring in that revenue. So I think there are a lot of creative ways to look at managing the dollars and creating resources and opportunity for the city.
Yes, Anthony Snowden. I guess the key point to that question is how and what services do you plan on consolidating? Because from a very real standpoint, there's a very few real areas out there that can be consolidated. When you talk about one thing, for example, the water district, because North Las Vegas has its own water company. If you stay in the county, you have another water district. So we need to look at those entities that are actually providing services for the different municipalities and see in terms of how they can more or less manage that piece. Because if there's nothing out there to consolidate in terms of police, in terms of fire, because everyone has their own jurisdictional boundaries and guidelines, so we're going to have to look at specifically what other resources are out there in terms of programs, in terms of merging like private businesses. We have North Las Vegas out there, like they said, there's a lack of businesses that are going out there. We have to create the climate where people want to come and actually do things. So we talk about private industry. And we talk about restaurants, because there's no actual real restaurants except for Burger King, Taco Bell, those type of things that actually exist in North Las Vegas. So we need to talk about those areas where private market can consolidate and provide services within the North Las Vegas area. And I think that's the most smart approach to that situation.
I do support consolidation. In one regard, I do. In one regard, the only, as long as you are not jeopardizing employment, then I support consolidation. It is good because you're putting those resources into a common place where people can work and serve both cities. The only one that I do have some regrets or some worries about is our ambulatory services. That's just because if we consolidate those, wait time, if people have a true emergency. That's the only concern I have about consolidating those businesses.
I believe we have to look and see what's best for the people when we talk about consolidation. Some services are going to be things that we can consolidate and maybe be fiscally safe, but then there are going to be some things where we want to keep our own name and keep North Las Vegas as its own entity. As far as being viable and making money for the city, there's current services that are provided that could be taxed or could have a little bit of a payment to them that we can increase. Other things that we can do to increase the revenue for the city would be cutting some of the bureaucratic red tape and making it easier for businesses to come in. Less stress, less traffic, staying in the city hall and in line when they could be out making money and creating more revenue for the city by paying the taxes.
Alrighty, thank you. That is all the time we have for Ward 2. Thank you for coming out. And if you have any additional comments for what you need to, if you need to expand on anything that you've said here today, they will be on YouTube. And on the Veterans in Politics Facebook page. So you can go there and add some more. So thank you for coming out.